regardless of the division, there's going to be schools that really get behind their athletics. And then there's going to be other schools that kind of just don't, you go to St. John's, you're going to have a large student body. You're going to have a lot of alumni, a lot of St. Thomas. I think Bethel has a pretty good, but then you're also going to go to a Hamlin, a McAllister, and it's not going to be the same.
Oh, they're still playing football here at Hamlin. Apologies to any of my friends who went to Hamlin.
Is that how they talk?
I think so.
Yeah.
Aren't they all attorneys?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Buffalo Community Podcast. We've got a pretty interesting one today.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, it's interesting to us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but, as you guys have grown with us, we've seen new life being brought in with Luke's family. Mark is entering into a stage where his kids are starting to check out colleges and go from there. My kids are, 11 and almost 13.
You went to college.
Yeah. Never finished, but
No.
I did go to college.
Yeah.
And that's going to be our conversation today, is just kind of our different experiences around the, I don't think I've gotten any further than, Jamestown, North Dakota.
You've been to Madison.
Oh, yeah, Madison, that's fine. But yeah, our experiences on different college campuses, whether we went there or we visited on, playing a game, sports. But you brought this topic up, so you must have something recent as far as you want to talk about.
Yeah, so couple recent trips to college campuses stand out for me. One went down to Ames, Iowa.
That's in Iowa.
It's in Ames, Iowa. And I have a niece that goes down to Ames, and my brother and I jumped in the car and drove down to Ames for the annual Cyhawk football game. So watched Iowa State take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. They Cyclones, go Clones, won in dramatic fashion. And so we had a great time there, got to experience the tailgating, the Iowa State football experience. The Big Noon Fox College kickoff show was down there.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
And so, so just, it's fun to experience those different large college football game day atmospheres.
Yeah.
I've done it at the University of Minnesota. I've done it at the University of Iowa, and I've done it at Iowa State University. So I've experienced three, and it pains me to say this, but Iowa Hawkeyes football game, that is a sweet game day experience. And Cyclones was a close second, and Gophers are a distant third.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it has to just do with like the setup of, in Minneapolis, whether it's a Twins game, Vikings game, Gopher game, it's parking lot here, parking lot here, parking lot over here.
Yeah.
And there's it's just too spread out, where you go to these other campuses that have parking like immediately around the stadium. And at Iowa, to me, it felt like the State Fair, where you have frat row, streets are shut down, vendors. I mean, it felt like the State Fair leading up to the football game. It was just awesome.
That's a cool experience.
Yeah.
When you're talking about college football, that's a big part of it, is like the experience of the game day. It's not just going to the stadium and watching a football game. It's leading up to it, walking to it. And if you got that tailgate atmosphere of being able to, enjoy yourself, before the game and after the game, that's a different experience than just showing up, watching a game, going home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. One of my tailgating experiences would have been NDSU Bison versus the Gophers, but I believe they played in the Dome. I think they played in the Dome when I went.
Yeah.
Which, is kind of weird.
The Fargo Dome?
No.
The Metro.
The Metro Dome.
The Metrodome is a stadium. It's a stadium that used to.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in those nosebleeds. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's worth the price of admission.
Yeah.
Just getting blasted through those doors.
Yeah, I think I just smelled the Metrodome actually a little bit. Yeah.
Nice. Cancel all my appointments for the day.
Yeah.
But I would say, I briefly attended college at MSUM Moorhead. Probably spent more time on NDSU's campus. I had visited Concordia College up there, Concordia. Decided not to go there. I actually canceled my my tour of Jamestown because Fargo was far enough. I was like, I'm not driving further.
Yeah.
And it was just awful. My brother went with me, but one of my most fun experiences, we drove down to Madison for the Halloween party, for Halloween. There wasn't a party, but it was they celebrate that. They closed down State Street, and they had a Badger game going on. I don't even know who they were playing, but I'm like, the atmosphere just down there. It was just like, oh, this is what a big school is like. Where, all right, our high school stadium is now better than what MSU and Moorhead's was. I mean, it was like a good high school stadium. I was like, it was probably no different. And I was like, man, this big school. I think kind of experiencing just a culture shock of that was so exciting to me. We didn't attend the game, but we spent all day out. I mean, it was people watching. It was kind of walking around the parks, which is just really, really cool. Like you said, frat row. It's just man, what a difference thing. And all of these kids around the world are convening here on this Saturday afternoon, which was really exciting for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to dress up like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Dog the Bounty Hunter. That's right.
Which, like, maybe that enhanced the experience. So, like, do you really know what it's like to go to Madison as Tyler Reese and not, like,
you get a lot of hooting and hollering once you're Dog the Bounty Hunter. Yeah, it was great.
I'm sure that elevated.
Yeah.
I would imagine Crown is very similar to a lot of these stories that you're hearing about major colleges.
Yeah, it's basically the same.
Yeah, I mean, college game day experience.
Yeah. Indistinguishable.
Yeah.
At the time that I had played, it was the nicest field that I had ever played on because I grew up north and, we shared football fields with the U of M school up there, Minnesota Crookston, and it was still mud by mid-season.
Sure.
So we just didn't have a lot of opportunity to play on nice fields. And so Crown was one of the first turf fields I ever played on. And so in my mind, it's super nice. But then, and now, now I help out a lot with media and stuff like that for Buffalo, and that's a nicer field than we played on at Crown. So
yeah,
they're spoiled.
It is
very much so.
What I do remember playing at Crown is we would stop at the big stadiums to do our walkthrough on Fridays before games, and so went to Iowa Hawkeye Field and got to run around on the field down there
at Kinnick.
Yep, at Kinnick.
Sweet.
Went to, I think, at UNI, Northern Iowa.
Yep.
They have one of the nicer domes, I think.
Cedar Rapids. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I got to experience a lot of those in empty stadiums. And just got to play around on their football field.
Like, geez, how bad were you?
I mean,
yeah.
Just pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was a lot of fun fields we got to experience, even though we didn't necessarily play on them. But as far as like stadiums that I actually had, experiences with, with full atmospheres that are local here, I think Northwestern was actually one of my favorite to play at.
Oh, cool.
I always felt like a pretty good game day experience. I think pretty nice stadium that we got to play in. Eureka in Illinois was always interesting. They had a brand new stadium by the time I was graduating there. Some not so great memories, losing to them by a lot of points.
But you tried hard.
Yeah, we tried really hard. Most of us.
Yeah.
They prorate. They actually end the scale on a scale. Like, well, they tried pretty hard, so spot them 30 points.
Right. But actually, fun fact, I've actually seen more Minnesota Vikings game at the U of M field than I've seen Minnesota games. Because I think I went to 3 games the couple years they were at TCF, and I was at Huntington. And I've only been to a couple Minnesota games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love football. I wish I got into college football more. There's no reason that I shouldn't love it. I mean... Yeah,
I think I've thought about this a lot, and I think it's because I don't want to say too many teams. There's just so many teams. Like, when you watch an NFL football game, you're going to know who 10 of those guys are, and I think that helps a lot.
Yeah.
As opposed to turning on Arkansas versus
Utah,
and you're like, I don't really know who these guys are. I just think name familiarity is important. Maybe I'm overrating it, but I've often wondered why it's just easier to watch a couple NFL teams play than a couple college football. And I really enjoy watching Gopher games, but I have obviously. I'm a homer, a fair weather homer. And so like, you know, the names and you kind of cheer for a jersey, as well. Yeah. And whereas when you're completely unattached, I agree. But many people don't have the same issue.
I know.
Like, there's a lot of people who really love college football and can.
The name issue was hard before because, you know, you barely knew anyone. And then, you know, if you weren't following super closely, and it's even worse now with, you know, transfer portal and people changing teams every 2 years, every year. Like, who's on what team? It's just,
there's no loyalty.
No,
anymore.
Not.
Right.
And so it's exacerbated that problem significantly.
Now, when the stakes are high, do you watch the college football playoff?
Yep,
do you get
absolutely.
into it? So
I found myself, I am a championship lover.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched last year, I watched the WNBA finals.
Yeah.
Like
I was locked into that.
I love Game 7s. I love a championship. I don't like watching baseball on TV. I will watch the World Series, you know, games, probably the elimination games, who's going to win. But I absolutely love that when the stakes are high, I'll get into any sport.
Yeah.
But just as like preseason, can't stand preseason.
Right.
You know, who cares? One of the parts that one of my favorite is like that Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah, you've got the NFL games, but then you've got all sorts of college games all weekend long. It's awesome to have on, you know, that, but you're around family then, and that's really the important part that I really enjoy. You know, okay, cool. Then, you know, we have a cousin that's into everything. He is that, does those research. I know these guys. It's like, oh, cool. That actually brings a little aspect that, oh, thank you for enlightening me here. But my brother-in-law, he's got season tickets for the Gophers, and he'll go and tailgate with some friends. But he's actually become friends with some of these players, and you know, players' parents. You know, it's like, oh, it's kind of neat, and it's just something I just can't quite get into yet. But you know, the experience, and I'm kind of down on Gopher football or kind of Minnesota sports in general. Of we just need to be competitive. I mean. It's tough. It's like, yeah, you can be all excitable in the world, and I think we differ on PJ Fleck, but win a championship, like, yeah. But again, they're in college, so it shouldn't really be their goal. Yeah, I should give them some grace there, but
well, they're getting paid a lot of money now. They're professional athletes, so I think that changes the standard you hold them to. And
sure. Good, I was right then.
Yeah. No, I think you are. I mean, there's just too much money involved, and money changes everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, those are kind of my major campus experiences. I did 2 years ago. My daughter was in an honor band down at Winona, and I drove her down there at. I think she had to be there at 8 a.m. So we left Friday night, checked into a bad Super 8 motel for the night.
Is there any good Super?
I don't know, but I'm like, we can do this. Like, this is one night. We're going to get there at about 8:30 at night. We need a place to sleep, but brought her to the college, and then I had just this time to kill in Winona, and I pull up, hey, maybe the Warriors are playing a home football game. I'm like, that'd be a great way to kill a day. And sure enough, they're playing UMD. And so I went down early to kind of check out the pregame vibe of a Division II football program. And it was not bad. Got a little long, kind of like, okay, kickoff can happen anytime now. But I was a little disappointed in the game atmosphere at a Division II at Winona, particularly. Very little student support, very little community support.
Sure.
It was just not. UMD brought down quite a few people, and I think UMD gets behind their Bulldogs, but
yeah,
Winona State Warriors, not
so much.
Not top of the list of
the tough look. I mean, that's not all D2, obviously. And one of my favorite games I've been to in the college world is BSU, Bemidji State. They have a great game day atmosphere. They got a really old stadium, but it's a cool stadium.
Yep.
And then I don't know if it's every game or certain games. If they win, they'll go take a dip in the lake that's like literally, feet away from the field.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a cool game day atmosphere, and
Like
that's
pads on and everything? Mm-hmm. Wow.
yeah, and that might be if they like beat a big team or the conference. I don't remember what the tradition
Equipment
is.
manager's like, son of a gun.
Yeah.
Get the dryers out.
Yeah.
That's a good D2 experience that I've been a part of in the past, and so not all of them, but yeah, that's a tough look.
Yeah. It's just interesting. Should have skipped the creamer in this. It's kind of coating my throat here, but
How old are you getting?
44. Yeah, I think it's just interesting. Regardless of the division, there's going to be schools that really get behind their athletics, mostly, football, and then there's going to be other schools that kind of just don't, you go to St. John's, you're going to have a large student body. You're going to have a lot of alumni, a lot of St. Thomas. I think Bethel has a pretty good, but then you're also going to go to a Hamlin, a McAllister, and it's not going to be the same.
Oh, they're still playing football here at Hamlin. Apologies to any of my friends who went to Hamlin.
Is that how they talk?
I think so.
Yeah.
Aren't they all attorneys? I don't know.
Yeah.
So funny, when I played at Crown, we would play those teams, the lower end MIAC teams, whatever the case, as our season opener, so they could get an easy win to go into their season with, and we would show up to those games, and we were, the worst team they were going to play all year, and so those stadiums were empty.
But you tried hard.
Ooh, we tried really hard.
Oh, so Hamlin has a good team?
I would not necessarily. I don't know where they're at right now, so I'm not going to comment on that. But when we played them, they were on the lower end of the conference division they were in.
Sure.
And they would still just run it up on us. But
you guys were the confidence game.
yeah, we were the confidence boosters, and we did a good job at that.
Yeah.
We were very good.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Good game for us.
Yeah. But we showed up to those games at McAllister, at St. Hamlin. I think maybe St. Olaf was one we played one year, and they would just be empty because why show up to that game when
It was 11 in the morning. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one part of my excitement these days now, kind of let's get off the college part, is these Friday nights at Buffalo. Like, my kids love going. I mean, it helps. My boys are in football. They enjoy it. But it's let's go. I'm going to go up against the fence, and they're off with their friends, so it's kind of like what I experienced as a kid too. But student section in Buffalo, they got something going on, which is awesome. You've captured a lot of that. Obviously it's a fantastic field.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty good, better than whatever I experienced. I was at the 98 game, or 99 game. 98 game. But, but as far as a high school experience, this is fantastic. And, I'm enjoying bringing my kids there, even though, hey, who won, Dad? I'm like, well, there's a giant scoreboard right there. You could take a look, or, but they're more important having, their fun. But the themed games, I think that's pretty neat. I don't quite get why they choose themed games other than, Bison Pride, but whatever. But I think it's kind of neat that they all jump into it. And
I think it helps students get involved. Bison Pride, great, and they do have like a couple of them that are specifically like, senior night or parent night or your Bison gear. But USA night, I think it was the night after 9/11. I mean, people get pumped up about that, and they want to support their country. Or I think the first home game we had was tackle cancer. Their causes to show up for, and that's one thing that Buffalo does well. For certain sports is they do show up. Basketball and football in particular, and big games, those stands are packed, and that's really fun. Really fun environment to be a part of. I didn't grow up with that, so that's really sweet to be able to see and see how much the large community supports the high school. Not just the student section. I mean, it's a good student section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the rest of the stands are packed too, with parents and cousins and friends and people that don't even know anyone on the field. They're there to support, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, I think this is a good topic of just kind of completely different experiences, and
Yeah.
good get.
Thanks. Appreciate it. No, if you have your own college experiences that you've loved, or good game day experiences that we need to check out, Madison is on my list for sure.
Yeah, I would suggest it.
I'd love to go to a Gopher Badger game and have the Gophers win. That'd be pretty satisfying.
Yeah,
but
I do like those rivalry games.
Yeah.
Put down in the comments what's your favorite stadium game day experience you ever had.
Perfect.
All right.
For the Buffalo Community Podcast, I'm Tyler Reese.
I'm Mark Benzer.
Luke Gedlin.
Thanks for listening to the Buffalo Community Podcast, produced by Edlin Media. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube, as well as anywhere you listen to podcasts.